It's not holding his good, and that's the one and only. Joe So Delicious. You know, he listen disrespecting me. Like, hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I tell you what.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
To me.
Oh my God!
Come back near me again. I told you, next time I see you know what? You know what, right? What? Oh my God! Come on, get up! Get up! Get up!
Another day, another time, Rods. You get the one up on this one.
I told you.
But there'll be another day.
You know what?
No, you know what? Another day, another time. Rods.
Don't get yours over there.
Listen,
You can't get it.
I don't care how many people you paid off to get in the Hall of Fame. I'm not
unpredictable for nothing. I got stuff you're never gonna find. All right? Don't just get near me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This guy, all respect for this kid. He has no idea who I am. They don't call me the unpredictable one for nothing. Next time I get him, I'm gonna put my boots on and go in the ring with him and teach him a lesson that he's never gonna forget.
Well, you may put your boots on. This is Jerry Fitzwater about to put a new pair of pants on because that was intense. This is a living legend, Johnny Rods, and I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of this. Back to you. Don't Tony. Hey, what? Is that Grim Reaper? Right now. Is that him?
Yes, it is.
Tell him I said hello. Tell him I said I like his hat. Tell him I said that.
He said he likes your hat.
It's a great hat. I love it.
He said the pink hat?
Oh, no. Anyways.
Like every Monday night, you are checking out Breakfast Super Raw.
Bon appetit as Don, Tony, and MISH dish out their opinions about the world of pro wrestling, sports, news, and pop culture. Breakfast Super Raw.
And now, your host, MISH and Don Tony.
What's going on, everybody? Got the Deli Man here, huh? It's fantastic. Deli Man's mute. I didn't know the Deli Man was mute.
Do that for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and tell me how you feel. All right, everybody got to see it?
Yeah. Little warm? Little warm? You should have wore that. You should have wore that out during the COVID.
Did you all see it? You thought I was kidding, everybody. You thought I was joking. I think people really thought I was joking. I don't lie on these shows. I might slightly exaggerate, and I might be a little prick from time to time. But last week, when we did Breakfast Soup Raw, I had mentioned I was going to do Thunderdome on Friday. And, I said it's the last week for Thunderdome because next week they go back to live fans.
Right.
And I'm going on vacation this week. So last Friday was going to be my last appearance for Thunderdome. And I mentioned in passing, I said, I would have loved to have done Raw. In fact, I wish I could have had the Raw shirt. I said, they put me right behind the announcer's table. Somebody at WWE was listening on Monday because I get an invitation for Thunderdome on Wednesday. I said, okay.
Sure.
I said, okay. FedEx arrives the next day, and it's this. I didn't order no Raw shirt. It came in, so I showed everybody a screenshot. And then we have Friday, and, you got to be a little bit careful because WWE, if you wear anything that isn't their garb, they boot you. So I've been on Thunderdome a few times, but as we saw, ZELINA VEGA made her WWE return, And if you look to the 3 o'clock position on Thunderdome, there is yours truly. And I had mentioned on Friday that I'm going to do Monday. And I want to thank whoever sent me the WWE shirt. And, you know, I hope I'm behind the announcer's table. So I didn't get perfect screenshots yet, but I know some of you took some quick ones during Raw tonight. But there is one. If you look right above Corey Graves' head, that was 3.5 hours worth of that. Usually they boot you after an hour into the show, 90 minutes in. They usually don't keep you for a full 3-hour show. But I made sure during the whole show, you see me like this. And like Ted DiBiase was in the mic piece tonight. All right, big boos, everyone. And it's funny hearing him, boo, boo. And it was weird because main event tonight, I didn't see the first match on main event, but the second match was Angel Garza versus Shelton Benjamin. And it was strange because Ted DiBiase was telling us all to cheer Angel Garza. So I guess they're going to turn Angel Garza into a babyface. Nice. You would think they wanted us to cheer Shelton Benjamin, you know, but I've been doing it since 7:30 tonight. And yes, I'm an overgrown child. I'm an overgrown kid. Shoot me.
So what?
Do something about it.
Why, is somebody upset that you were on?
Oh, no. I'm just saying, like, some people crack jokes. Some people like, look at this loser dancing all night long. I'm having fun, man.
It's goofy, dude.
Seriously.
Not everybody has to be serious all the time. It's fine, bro.
Seriously, I had a ball. Yesterday, we did fireworks. I recorded an hour on the beach. Much love to everybody who hung out last night. I gave you a happy 4th as well. But,
did you? Okay. I was out blowing off fireworks ourselves, so... Yeah, the brother had like $1,800 in fireworks. It was insane. And
nice.
We went off to the park, and you had all the police there and the firefighters shooting off their own rockets and stuff like that.
That's awesome, man.
It was fun. It was fun, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, I missed it. No.
Well, the replay is on YouTube, but the only thing that sucked about it is for some reason, that's the first time I ever recorded on my iPhone for streaming on YouTube, and it only recorded in 720p. So I obviously have to learn how to stream on YouTube through the iPhone because I should have had 1080 4K quality, and for some reason only shot in 720. But it looked nice enough. I think everybody had a good time. But no, but seriously, man. I mean, you know, I know that I'm not the youngest person in the room. I've been a wrestling fan since '79, and COVID has sucked, and we're about to get live fans back for WWE. AEW got a head start, but every day that goes by, it's another day of starting to feel a little bit of normalcy. Mm-hmm. And me, I don't know how much time I have left on this earth. I don't know how much time my family has left on this earth.
I don't know if you want to be.
You know what I mean? None of us do.
Right.
So I'm going to just enjoy myself, man. If I come off as an overgrown kid, so be it. As long as I'm serious when it needs to be serious, that's all that matters. But if everyone out there missed Raw tonight, you want to see yours truly act like a goof for 3 hours straight, all you got to do is watch Raw and watch right above Corey Graves' head on the announcer's table. And, you know, I just want to thank whoever was listening on Monday who sent me the shirt, sent me the invite, and actually put me right where I wanted to be. So
that's very nice. That's
much
very
love.
Nice. It really is.
Now, AEW, when are you going to step bucking up? Because I wanted to do Skybox. I want to do a big group of tickets for their Queen show. No response whatsoever.
You probably have to get rid of me.
No response. I actually contacted someone that I know that works there, and I said, look, I'm interested in possibly buying 100 tickets to get the whole Donzilla army to hang out and everything. You know, is there any group discount or is there any way about going to get a boat? Not even a response. Not even a response. That's what happened in Chicago that time. I'm not that much of an asshole. You know what I mean? I know AEW is in a little bit of demand right now, but, you know, I mean, we got some of the most loyal fans and family that tune into these shows. There's not many people that have done it I don't think anybody's done it as long as me. And, we're trying to show support, put some money back into the companies and having fun, and no response at all. How does that forget about me, how does it make everybody out there feel?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I hope it's not my fault. I see people in the chat room pretty much saying that it's my fault that AEW won't recognize you. And that could be the truth. And if that's the case, that's pretty unfair considering that me and you are completely different people. And our opinions are pretty much, they're like-minded at times, but there are certain things that we completely disagree on. And it should be noted that, if you can get sponsored for an AEW event or go to an AEW show, I mean, there's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't do that, because there's a lot of AEW fans that appreciate what you say about Dynamite, what you say about the roster. Right. No, I understand that. And I mean, it's fair whether you like or you criticize it. It's just your honest feelings. So if there is a reason why people in the chat would obviously know more than I would, why AEW wouldn't support you, then, I really hope that it's not because of me. So
yeah, I mean, at least tell me. I mean, have the balls to tell me to my face, But anyway, couple of things tonight. If the show is a little more basic tonight, it's only because I've literally been sitting on my fat ass here since it's now 11:21. I've been sitting here since 7:28 because I got in for a part of main event. So my ass hurts.
I bet you start reevaluating your chair comfort after 7 hours.
Well, I had this on since 7:30. You have to be ready and dressed because this way they know where to put you. And, I got the lady here tonight. She's not in the greatest of moods because since 7 o'clock, pretty much I'm in this room. Now, if you see me doing this tonight, only because the nose on here really rubs in. If you even look this way, the nose looks like it has like an erection. You see how it pops out?
Right.
The mask is not made to pop out like that. If you look at it closely, you see the indentation there? That's my nose pushing it out for 3.5 hours. That's not made like that. So my nose gets itchy. So is it real hot in there?
Like, what kind of fabric is that? I've never even asked you.
I think it's cotton. I don't think there's any label on it.
Bad. It's breathable. It's not like you're wearing like a latex insert or nothing.
Yeah, no. It's pretty comfortable. I mean, it's really well done. I mean, I love it, man. The DM stands for, doesn't mean direct message. It means Fidelity, man. And it's the Italian colors. I had that custom made a long time ago. But
there you go, man.
Tonight, we're going to talk Raw. Tonight, we're going to comment a couple of words about Zelina Vega.
Ah, yes.
We're going to comment about the New Day being ranked #1 WWE tag team of all time, and a big special shout out to Crazy Cruiserweight. Every week was giving us the countdown, and we were going to save, our comments for the most part tonight. And then we'll take your calls. And the calls tonight, we should keep it specific to Zelina Vega, New Day #1, or Raw. Tomorrow we got the Great American Bash.
Yes.
4 matches.
We do.
I think a lot of people think that Karrion Kross is going to face Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. I was told that's not the case. It's supposed to be just a face-to-face. Okay. Maybe it turns into an impromptu match, but that's just a face-to-face. I think it's going to be a good show. And one programming note, I am going to be on the road Thursday morning very early. Need to get a little bit of sleep. So Wednesday's show is not going to start at 10:05 p.m. Eastern like normal Wednesdays do. It's going to start at 8 p.m., and I'm going to do an AEW watch-along. This way I could get done with Dynamite by 10 instead of starting at 10. And then at 10 o'clock, I'll have some thoughts on the Great American Bash. Maybe we'll comment during Dynamite if we hit some bullshit matches that really are not all that interesting. So this way I could go off the air Wednesday a couple of hours earlier, which allows me to get a couple of hours extra sleep. And then I will be out of New York from Thursday morning until Monday morning.
See, I thought you were taking this weekend off for some reason.
No,
because I naturally thought that you were doing this with Independence Day. And I'm like, he's going to have a good time and go out on a vacation on July 4th or something.
Last 2 years I went away 4th of July weekend, but I wanted to be with family this year. especially after what happened to my dad early this year. So, you know, it was a little bit different this year, you know, but we had a really nice time yesterday, and I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Had an awesome time. You know what was awesome about it? Family hung out. I mean, not just in person, but everybody tuning in.
Right.
You know, the haters, bitter bitches, throwing thumbs down and stuff. I mean, even on the 4th of July, they got to do it. You know, even strangers stopped by and enjoyed the display. So it was fun. It was fun. Speaking of fun, obviously it was a little extra fun for yours truly tonight being, you know, and this goes back to what I've always said, and I think you agree as well. You know, you go to a wrestling event in person, it's very hard for the event to suck. For some reason, when you go in person, you always seem to have a little bit more fun in person than maybe some people at home. Some Raws, Nitros, SmackDowns, TNA, you go in person, you have a little bit extra time because it's live in your face. At home, it may not be as fun. So for me in Thunderdome tonight, even though I wasn't there physically, it was more fun because you're interactive all night long and my arms are hurting like hell. But what did you think of Raw tonight? Watching
it was good. It was a decent show. I mean, you know, just not to put everybody else on blast, but can we say that Johnny Drip Drip stole the show with Ricochet again? I don't know what it is. Once again, you have this random matchup of two guys that go out there and put on a clinic. And, like, don't get me wrong, there was some other fun to be had tonight, but they literally opened the show with the best match tonight, and I'm really impressed with how well it's turning out. The way that it finished with the Miz fuckery with the wheelchair, funny as hell. It was unique. Nobody expected it. You know, him blocking off Ricochet from getting back in the ring with his wheelchair. I laughed. It was good. It was a good, solid match. And for the most part, you know, like it was still comedic without being too serious. It was really well done. And Ricochet is kind of opening up his wings a little bit for a guy that has been noteworthy as being bland. He's starting to loosen up. I don't know if it's because of, you know, Jomo and the Miz. I don't know if it's because he's more relaxed with this little back and forth that he's going on, but they're helping him, and they're both looking good in the process too. So, yeah, no, Raw overall was a lot of fun. And dude, and I get what you're saying. When you're talking about going to a live event, it's a lot more difficult to not enjoy yourself at a live event. It's because the crowd itself is infectious. I imagine if there was ever such an event where everybody was booing, what is it, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, WrestleMania, where everybody in the audience was booing everybody, that's probably the only time that everybody's going to be fucking miserable. So, for the most part, when people are cheering or making snide comments in the audience, dude, that's fun. That's part of the fun. Talking trash at wrestling events is part of the fun of going to a wrestling event. You know what I mean?
My favorite all-time boo, overwhelmingly boo.
Yes.
As far as fans, livid boo. It's not even RVD versus John Cena, ECW One Night Stand 2006. No. It's not even that one.
That was a fun boo, though.
That was a fun boo. But
yeah.
To me, the one that stands out to me more than anything is Batista versus Big Show, ECW, Hammerstein Ballroom, I believe it was. Yeah. Because it was fun to watch it, but the fans fucking hated it. And if people remember, and I have the hotline report to prove it, back then they went to the ECW arena once. And I went with Mad Zombie, Brian Damage, Timmy Austin, God rest his soul, the ECW Zombie. It was pretty cool to have Timmy sitting ringside with us, and people didn't even realize he was the ECW Zombie. But they went to the ECW arena, and don't come back. This match sucks. Fuck you. I mean, they just despised it. By the way, I think it's Chris in the chat. He has no idea why I'm wearing a Raw shirt. Go back and watch Raw again tonight, and just look above the announcer's table.
Well, he may not be familiar with the great and legendary Deli Man.
Yeah, I was in Thunderdome all night, and WWE sent me the Raw shirt to wear. I didn't order it, but I had made a comment last week that, you know, I would have done Thunderdome tonight, but, I would love to have had the Raw shirt and sit rings, behind the announcer's table like they did that row. So they sent me a shirt. Somebody listened. So I should have asked for a lot more, but some ice cream pops or something.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say about Jomo, did you see
Johnny Drip Drip? Yes.
Johnny Drip Drip. Did you see when he was talking about the ocean or the lake reference tonight? Did you see the little clip that he posted on social media over the weekend?
No. What
You
was
have
it?
to see it.
Oh, okay.
He's in a lake underwater. And I got to be honest with you, it's probably one of the coolest vignettes, not even like a professional vignette. It's one of the coolest things that I have ever seen from a wrestler who did it on their own dime on social media, that they didn't even have to do it. It was so cool. I think WWE should have aired it. He's in a lake underwater, and somebody films him, and he comes up from the lake, and he's walking out of the ocean, and he's cutting a promo on Ricochet. And he's doing this for about a minute and a half. Then he whips out a bottle, like a decent-sized bottle, and he goes near a tree, and he throws the bottle up, and he does a spin kick and nails the bottle as it's coming down. And when you watch it, I wish I could play it here, but I'm afraid of getting copyright strike. In one take, I could only imagine if he didn't nail it the first time, how many times. That is so tired. To be underwater, walk about 60 feet out of the water, cut a promo, all in one take, and then you got to see it, man.
I will.
Oh, man.
Take a look for it.
It is one of the coolest things. One of the coolest things that I've seen in a long time, because it wasn't something that even needed to be done.
That makes it even better. That makes it even better when they go on their own and they add to their own character. John Morrison, since he's come back to WWE, has been a delight to watch. The guy is hilarious. Him and The Miz are hilarious together. They're seriously some of the highlights of Monday Night Raw, easily.
Yeah.
So,
Kite line, that's not the drip thing. That's not douche equipment. That reminds me of Rick Martel and Arrogance. That's like
using douche.
They used to have a water gun that you would pump up like that. In fact, when I was a kid,
he was using it. I mean, seriously, if you think about it for a second, it would almost be twice as funny if it was a douchebag. If it was an actual douchebag that he was using, that would be twice as funny.
How many of you, closer to my age, when we were kids, one of the things that we used to love to do in our yards, just to show you how old we are. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but back in the day, there would be this toy rocket, about this big.
Right.
And you took the toy rocket and you rested it on some type of pump. Yeah. And then you would fill it with water. Right. And then you would take this thing and go, and then you would hit the button. You would build up all this pressure, and you hit the button, and the rocket would shoot up in the air about maybe 30 or 40 feet, and then it'd come down.
Right.
It was just water pressure. Yeah. I mean, and that's what we would do all day long. That's what it looks like to me. So, but yeah, I agree with you, man. Ricochet, you could feel, his promos are still very milquetoast, but they're killing it.
He's breaking it down. Ricochet is not trying to be a character right now. I mean, he's absolutely going for a gimmick, but he's not trying to be a character. It's almost like he was mocking John Morrison and Miz the whole time. So because the guy doesn't really have his own gimmick at the moment, that worked just as well too. He was average guy laughing at John Morrison and the Miz. He was average everyday guy pointing out their silliness and their stupidity. And it works because that's the perfect person to go against somebody as insane as Jomo and Miz. So you have these two guys that are outlandish, outspoken, and got their own show. They're sucking their own egos. And then you have Ricochet pointing out the audacity of them. So it works. It works fine.
I got to be honest with you. This is why I love doing the shows with you and everybody else tuning in. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I probably have not thought about that water rocket toy since I was maybe like 7 or 8 years old. There would be absolutely no reason for me to ever think of that toy. And just from fucking Johnny Drip doing something, you get flashbacks of something that you did as a child, and I just did a Google image search and I found it. There you go. It looks a lot like the Johnny Drip thing.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about when I saw it. I honestly never thought at that time, Mom, you needed to douche. Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what we used to play when we were kids.
Sure.
Beautiful. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Speaking of awesomeness, a couple of quick super chats and a birthday shout out. I'm sorry you had the super chat this, Harris. I should have shouted you out anyway. Happy 22nd birthday, my friend.
Oh, wow.
And you're very, I mean, you're very welcome. But we got to thank you also for that. That's very, very generous of you. And, you know, that's why even like with the Thunderdome thing, you think I do that so I could say to my fiance, hey, turn on the TV. I'm right by the announcer's table. And you know what she'd probably say? How old are you? You're over there going like this for 3.5 hours.
Right.
You know, it ain't going to get me anything. You know, I do it to have fun, and I do it so everybody could have fun also.
It doesn't get you points.
You're
not a rock star because you were on Thunderdome.
Not a rock star. But look, some of you tuning in and you're watching the show, and then you see me in the back with the deli man going like this, you know, it's all about just putting little smiles on some faces a little bit. Man. Try to, you know, just have a good time.
Maybe not even putting the smiles on other people's faces. Maybe it's just about putting a smile on your own.
Yeah. That's
sometimes
the message.
People do stupid things just to amuse themselves. And I'm not saying Thunderdome is stupid, but I'm just saying like people do zany things in order to just entertain themselves during the doldrums of life.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
This is all about having fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. I really am. Look,
yeah.
Regardless of what other people say, dude, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah. So, and that was definitely the last one for me. I mean, unless another pandemic comes around and they bring back the LED panels, that's it. That's it. So, you know, to have the last row go off the air with that's cool. That's cool. That's good enough. Actually, there'll be one more. They're taping it this week, but I'll be long on the road from then. So, but happy birthday, Harris, again. 22, man. Yeah. I hate you. I freaking hate you. 22. So what the hell was I doing?
Yeah, you've been doing the show longer than he's been around.
Yeah, you want to know something? That's true. He was born, what, 1989? No, 1999.
98.
1999. Yeah. So I started doing this in 97. So I did it before your parents impregnated you.
Yeah.
Congrats. Happy birthday, my friend. AS7607, she used some of her birthday money to get a few WWF Hasbro figures from a collector's store. Did I ever have them? Fuck.
I don't know that wrestler.
You know what? I talked last week about the Hasbro figures that I had, and I said about the Patreon. I have in my office Ultimate Warrior and I think Hogan and Macho Man figures, mint condition in the package. I had it on Patreon for 4 years, and nobody ever claimed it. I honestly thought somebody would have claimed it just to put it on eBay and try to make money off of it, and they never did. And I was always blown away that they never, ever bothered to do that. I'm going to try to email myself these photos right now, and I'll put them on the screen as far as the Hasbro figures, because these things are pristine, mint condition, and I cannot believe that nobody ever chose them. Now, I don't do prize walls anymore because, number one, the number of people that are on our Patreon is a lot less. Now everybody has a Patreon, so people have to seriously pick and choose. But, I was talking about it last week. Really, the only Hasbro figure that I ever had growing up was the Roddy Piper. I never really collected them. I know I had some figures at some point, but I mentioned this last week, the ring that they sold back in the day, that it was like rubber bands. And I remember pulling the wrestler back to let it go, and the whole freaking thing snapped on me because I pulled too hard. And I only had the toy ring for like 2 or 3 days, and I was like, fuck this, and I never collected figures again.
Wow.
What about you with Hasbro figures?
No, I mean, as far as the wrestling toys, I told you before, I was never really a guy that got into the toys. I collected a bunch of the Topps trading cards back in the day, and obviously I have a large collection of, different kinds of wrestling books. But no, as far as the actual action figures, I was never into that. I didn't like the Funko Pop stuff either. Like, I was just never into that stuff, So, but as far as the baseball cards or the wrestling cards, I still have some of those around somewhere, the old ones, the old yellow and blue ones with like Hogan and the Hart Foundation on them and everything else like that. And obviously just, wrestling literature. So
I actually was able to download them. The only thing is, once this is weird, once you start this like program, it's very, very difficult to reposition them. So I probably just have to like edit them during the show, and then I could put them online so everybody could see it. So it should only take me a couple of seconds. But yeah, the Piper figure was really the only one that I ever had. And I actually probably could show you one right now. Yeah, this one, I'll show you this one right now. Let me pull this one up. And like I said, and I'm sorry about the reflection because I have them in plastics. In fact, I'm going to tell everybody something now that I mentioned on Friday. Yeah, there's the Macho Man and there's the Hogan one. They are mint condition. I mean, there's not a crease on it. There's not a like a price tag on it, nothing. And I've had them I had it in my own collection for a long, long time. Nobody ever wanted them, which really shocked the shit out of me because I can only imagine how much these things go for on eBay in like really, really good condition. So, and here's the other. I'll show you the others right now. These are the Ultimate Warrior ones. One of them is new, but one of them is old. There you go. The one on the right is the old one. So, mint condition. So, yeah, those I have, but I never opened them. So, by the way, I might as well mention this now. I brought it up on Friday. Let me show everybody. I had joked a week and a half ago to Karrion Kross. WWE had the first ever autographed figure. Yes. First ever one he ever signed on his auction, on the auction site. And I joked with everyone. I said, do not bid on it, because I'm going to bid on it and win it. And when I bid on it, then I saw the Scarlet one, and I said, it would be a shame to break them up.
Right.
Yeah. So I got them.
They
got delivered to my house. Those are the first ever figures, first autograph ever by either one of them. They're in my house right now. But I'm very, very undecided what I should do about the Scarlet one, because you really can't notice it, but whoever put the figure inside the protective case, either the case was a little dented or it was the wrong size, and they shoved it in, and there's like 2 or 3 corners that it's all creased. Oh. The figure's all creased. It looks fucked up, to be honest with you. But it's like, what am I supposed to do?
You know what? It might be worth more. I mean, I know that isn't there a thing too, especially with like manufacturer defects, things become worth more?
I don't think that was a defect though. Okay. I think some moron in the mailroom's like, they don't fit. These don't fit.
You mean
don't fit.
Package. I got you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the plastic of the actual figure itself.
No, the protective case that they put it in. Next week I'll take it out. I'll show everybody.
Right.
I'll show everybody. But yeah, that's it. Jay Carlos, what's up, my friend? Hope everything is going well. He wanted to ask us, in our opinion, he believes that the Root of the Aggression era. Wait a minute. What the hell am I doing? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That is funny. I was wondering. Jay Calls, I apologize. AS7607, I apologize. Harris B, I don't apologize. I was putting up super chats that were 3 days old.
Yeah.
I was saying to myself, wait a minute, I know he answered this before. So happy birthday again, Harris. Sorry. This is what happens when you do Thunderdome for 3+ hours. Roger Rubio had a great time. Much love. He's working tonight, and he's tuning in, so don't work too hard, my friend. Don't work too hard. And big shout out to Puffy89. Happy 4th to you as well. And that was from yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do the shout outs. Happy birthday, Papo Jr. Now we can talk about today. Crazy Cruiserweight. Main event results. Veer defeated Drew Gulak. T-Bar and Mace defeated the Lucha House Party. That was from last week. Today, Veer over Jeff Hardy and Garza over Shelton Benjamin. I did see Garza over Shelton Benjamin. It was a decent match, a little messy at times, and like I said, it was a little confusing. And if you do watch that match, pay attention to the fans, because you'll watch most of the match and you'll see them giving Garza a thumbs down. When he got the pin, Ted DiBiase was in our ear like, all right, everyone, big cheers for Angel Garza. Big thumbs up for Angel Garza. And we were like, I was like, huh? I thought we were supposed to boo the guy.
Right.
So I just take note of that when you see it. But thank you, Crazy. And thank you again, seriously, for the countdown for the tag teams. We're definitely going to talk about that in a little bit. So definitely worth bringing up. So much love, my friend. Thank you. Phillip Maffei. You think Bray Wyatt could return the Money in the Bank, Mish? What do you think?
It would be an interesting move. I don't know. You know what? Has there been any hype surrounding anywhere about Bray Wyatt? Like, I almost feel that people aren't really excited for his return. You know, I mean, when it comes to even other people talking about it, I mean, do you get that? Because I'm not even sure what they're going to do and how they're going to bring him in. I mean, is he going to immediately go into Bliss mode and try and fix or destroy whatever the hell she is? Or are they just going to pretend like there's no correlation between the two anymore? Like, it's very odd because I just see zero hype train for Bray Wyatt this time. And I don't know what you do with that.
By the way, I know we're going back and forth. We always do that. The superhero got pinned today.
Yeah, she did already. Boy, oh boy, what a good idea it was to change her over.
Well, you know? I'm not going to bury it after one loss, but we said, let's give it a month and let's see what WWE does with it.
Right.
And the superhero got pinned today, and I was like, okay. I thought that was stupid.
Dude, they had her mark out for her own music, DT. When she was standing there cutting the promo with the other two, she's like, oh, that's my music. And I'm like,
when I hear my song, I get the big strength. And I go into be the superhero. They should play the music during the match. Seriously. That's kind of like Boogs. When Boogs starts playing the guitar, they should do that. I heard my music. And I sound like a Scottish, Texan. I heard my music, and I got the super power. You got pinned. After 1 week, you got pinned. And we got Eva Marie. Oh, my God. Oh, my. Phillip, I'll answer my thoughts on Bray in a second. Oh, my God. Eva Marie hit the ring.
yes.
Watch my reaction on Thunderdome. I went like this. And then when she threw the kicks, I purposely did this. And I don't know how great it comes on in the video. You'll see me doing this. Now, you can't see my face, obviously. I got a mask on. But that was my way of trying to make it look like I'm laughing my ass off. Because if that is her legitimately kicking based on her wrestling training, that goes out to everyone out there that said, oh, no, she is nailing it. Everybody that is training her is saying that you have no idea how much she's improved. You goddamn fucking liars. She's improved in the acting category, but she kicks worse than Joey 924. Oh my God, did you see those kicks? Oh my God, she couldn't even break wind if she, that was funny, man. I was actually kind of happy that she actually hit a couple of kicks. They actually let her use a move tonight. Kicks. Is it safe to say that she was brought in and as part of the deal, Eva, you're going to do next to nothing. You don't have to do anything.
That's what she's supposed to do.
I know, we talked about that.
That's what got people pissed off was she kept coming out there and never wrestling a match. I thought that's why Piper Niven was brought in there to be the other. And then they named her Doudrop. I'm still not going to forget that. That was dumb as hell. They should have just named her Eva Marie. You could have had two Eva Maries, and they could have just played off of the words or something. But Eva Marie isn't supposed to step into the ring. Nobody wants that. I mean, aside from, a few morons online that want that, nobody wants to see Eva Marie wrestle. She's not a wrestler. I don't know.
But nobody also wants to see her to keep stacking up wins and not wrestle.
Yeah, that's fine, because that's what a heel does. That's literally what she does. She has a whole unique gimmick where her gimmick is winning matches from doing nothing. That's what she's been doing forever. That's like her thing. And the comeuppance is supposed to be when somebody finally drags her ass into a ring and beats her up. That's the payoff. Why is this so difficult?
I know.
It seems like it's simple as hell.
I get it. I'm a little confused. And you and I have talked about this for 2 straight weeks. Is Alexa Bliss a babyface now?
Sure.
I mean, because the last couple of weeks, if you think about it, what a weird babyface for that to be.
Dude, I've talked about this a few times ad nauseum. They don't know what the hell Bliss is. Bliss is literally just a character. She's not a heel. She's not a face. She's not a tweener. She's nothing. She's whatever the hell she feels like being this week. Is she a good guy? Sure. Is she a bad guy? Sure. Like Bliss is literally an entity unto herself. She is a very unique thing in wrestling because the wrestling storylines don't apply her to any feuds in the way that normal babyface versus heel feuds go. She is nothing and everything all at the same time.
I personally think Bray Wyatt should pop up on SmackDown. No draft, no explanation. Pop up on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because the interaction between Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt would be bad. The way it feels right now, it would be dumb at minimum.
Let me explain my opinion real quick, though. What I mean by she's not babyface, she's not heel, she's not tweener, she's everything and nothing is you could see her wrestling with Nia Jax and Shayna next week as their tag team partner for no reason whatsoever. That's what I mean by that. You can literally place her on either side of that tag team 4-on-4 match, and it doesn't matter. You could put her in a match with guys, and it doesn't matter. Her character is so ambiguous that she could literally be anything they want her to be because she is that nonsensical of a character. She has no point. There is no reason for her. That's what I mean.
And, to see her interaction with Asuka tonight after everything, to see her interaction with Nikki Cross after everything, and again, to see the stuff with Reginald and Alexa Bliss again, it's like, and all her voodoo powers have gone away because we're going back to live fans. They needed to get people used to seeing her go out there and kind of be like a normal chick with makeup. It's like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of her aura has gone away and she does a lot of Alexa Bliss moves. So, I'm not really complaining, so to speak, but, maybe this was the best thing to happen. You know, the live fans is what really shifted this character. If they weren't coming back to live fans, that now we would not have this shift with this character. They would have done so much more with the special effects stuff. But it just, I don't know, man. I got to see the women's Money in the Bank match, and I got to see if we get Goofy Voodoo that night. And then maybe they're saving the Goofy Voodoo for that night. But it is a little bit confusing. It is definitely a little bit confusing. Now, the real shout out to AS7607 tonight. Did you get the box yet? Don't super chat this. I'm looking at the chat room. Did you get it yet? Oh no, today was the 4th. Excuse me. There's no postal service today. Tomorrow you'll get it. I guarantee you'll get it tomorrow. So you should definitely get it. But much love, and happy birthday again. So yeah, you'll get it tomorrow. You'll definitely get it tomorrow. Rye Baker. Thank you, Rye. Yes, had a decent. How was your 4th?
It was
overall?
Fine. Blew off fireworks, ate a bunch of food, you know. I mean, pretty much what probably every other person under the sun was doing, I hope, you know.
Well,
hope you can enjoy your 4th of July as well.
Didn't something else happen? You don't want to talk about it?
What? Oh, the 5-car pileup? Yeah, no, that was actually on the 3rd, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mish was in a pretty massive car wreck. And now you got to go to court. You didn't cause the accident. Let's be clear. You didn't cause the accident.
I was the 5th car. So, I mean, long story short, some dude was probably on his phone, careened through. He had a blue SUV, careened through 2 other cars, hit the 3rd car. The 3rd car slammed into the back of us. But our entire car, my truck was saved by the trailer hitch. Ripped up the person that hit us, ripped up their bumper pretty bad. But the one Fiat went flying into the middle of the road. The other SUV was completely T-boned and hit into a light post, and the entire driver's side was ripped off. She had to get rushed immediately away. Yeah, no, it was pretty messed up. And the guy that hit everybody, like, nobody spoke English because, I mean, I was the only, me and my significant were the only ones that were speaking English. So we were sitting there like the whole time. It was about 2 hours talking with the cops in 90-degree weather. So it was kind of gross, but
I'm glad that you're okay.
No, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I was shook up, but I mean, of course, who the hell wouldn't be, you know, especially when you see that coming at you in the rear view. It was crazy too, because the cars were popping up, right? And it really looked like something out of a Hollywood scene. It was pretty trippy, but yeah, no.
Anything you're going to miss about Thunderdome?
No, not at all. Thunderdome was a Band-Aid for a bad situation.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of cool. You know, every once in a while, maybe for bigger events, they could have like a little row of Thunderdome as opposed to like having entire walls of Thunderdome. But yeah, you would think that would be something interesting that they would try to apply to give people a row of Thunderdome at bigger events. But no, overall, excited, looking forward to live action coming back to the television. Want to see real people's reactions, not just phoned in and, you know, audio production tricks, stuff like that.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see how long NXT still has their version of Thunderdome. Because
I like that too. I like the mix a little bit. I think there's something cool about it because here's the thing with the mix. You're getting the reactions from people at home, and you're also getting the live reactions of people out there, you know. So
what I like about the LED screens for NXT is they use them also to put like cool graphics of the wrestlers. Like even when they had the 5-way match for the NXT championship, Cross was the champion. So they had Cross's name right smack in the center, which looked pretty cool. So I like the LED effect sticking around for NXT for a while. Now, me personally, being invited to Thunderdome about a dozen times and doing about 7 of them, I had fun. I wish I would have done the Deli Man stuff the first 5 times. You know, I finally decided to do it, and I had a ball. I should have done it from day one. But even though I had a lot of fun, and I recorded some clips of, how, DiBiase would tell us, do this, do that, do this. I also realize, and I am 100% in agreement with you, it was a Band-Aid on a bad situation. And when you look back at WrestleMania last year and you listen to the utter silence, when Bayley turned on Sasha Banks, when you listen to the utter silence, because they didn't even pipe in reactions at that time, it was cool. It was cool when Roman Reigns and Jey Uso fought in Hell in a Cell, and we heard every reaction, every comment, everything said. Beyond that, it was just horrible to have dead silence. Wrestling should never have dead silence with no fans, not even indie shows. That's one of the things when I show my old indie footage stuff, the one thing that people keep saying over and over again is, wow, the crowd sounds fun. I mean, the crowd was great. And you don't need 1 trillion fans to have a nice, fun crowd. So although I had fun in it, I'm definitely happy to see live fans. Nothing replaces live fans ever. Now the live fans will have the true reactions towards the wrestlers, towards the storylines, towards the segments, towards the promos. I know we're probably going to get a little sick of what? You're probably going to see that come back a little bit because fans just want to interact as much as they can. To me, nothing ever replaces fans. So it was a Band-Aid. I will miss doing it, but overall, nice to see fans back. Seriously. If you would have said to me, DT, you could go back in time 1.5 years ago and have live fans or a small crowd and no Thunderdome and never being a part of it, I'd say that's fine. Live fans. Give me live fans every single time. So I'll miss being part of it. It'll be a fun memory. Look back and, see some of the shots for comedic reasons. But live fans back, awesome. Awesome. And everybody who is going to go to a wrestling event during this year, have a great time. Go balls out.
Yeah.
Don't feel you're embarrassing anybody. You want to be like a big kid screaming at the top of your lungs, having a great time. Go out and do it, man. Just have fun. Just have fun. Forget what people will say online. Even before COVID with the Jericho cruise, I'll never forget the people making fun of people going on the Jericho cruise simply because they wanted to go on the cruise. Sausage Fest, all this other stuff. I mean, just because they wanted to have fun on a boat. I mean, it's just...
Oh, I'm guilty of that too.
But you didn't do it. You did it as a comedic.
I'm not trying to do it maliciously.
You joked about the visual.
I'm just saying.
And look, you joked about the visual, and I laughed along with it.
Right.
We're not talking about it. We're talking about the people that specifically said, "My God, the women, they're going to be surrounded by sausage and this and that," and it's just, it was just. I'm talking about the people.
No, I get it. I'm just owning up to what I said. That's all.
No. You joked lighthearted about. I'm talking about the people that get angry when people are having fun.
Right.
That get bitter at people having fun. That's what it comes down to. So, Joe punches. Oh man, I'll show you screenshots all the time if you keep thanking us.
I love Joe. Joe's good dude.
Joe's good people, man.
I'm gonna probably see him with a bunch of other guys. We're all going up to St. Louis for the Empower event.
Yeah, so and Lee, I'm gonna definitely check that out. I got to start looking into the end of August.
Yeah, we got to get our tickets for DC.
Yeah, I'm going to look into it seriously. I'm going to try to get her to go with me.
Why not?
My mom's birthday is August 28th. So, that is an issue. But even if I go for one day and then fly back, the plane fares are very cheap. But I'm going to talk to her about it while we're on vacation over the weekend. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, a lot of people don't know about that yet. But we'll talk about it probably next week when we get a little bit more concrete, as far as what we're going to do. So, thank you, Joe. And SRH John, he hopes that's a great comment. What do you think about the WWE video games? And one of the arenas, you have the opportunity to choose Thunderdome. That would be difficult. It would be very difficult because, well,
you think it'd be difficult?
It would be cartoon fans. It wouldn't be legitimate faces. I don't think you'd be able to pull that off.
Well, it's all CGI anyways to begin with. I would just imagine it's just a different setting for it. I don't know. I don't look at it as being that difficult of a thing to do. But yeah, that actually makes sense. I think
that's a
senior H. John probably has a good idea on that.
That's a great idea, John. Never even thought about that. Thunderdome as a feature in the Raw 2K22. I love that idea. Seriously. I would sign off and let them do Deli Man. Let them put Deli Man on the video game.
Oh, you think they're going to use actual people from the Thunderdome? No, I figured they would make up. Yeah, they just make up.
Yeah, they'll just use the graphics that they use. Right. They'll just pixelate them. You know, you just make I don't know how to do it, but you just make like the box setup, the grid, and you just put the same faces behind it, and you just pixelate it. It's not a bad idea. I like it. I absolutely love that idea. No, the more I think about it, I really like that idea. A great one. And Courtney, what's up, Courtney? Just a reminder, she's super chatted now. So let's give her a money's worth, everyone. If you're enjoying the show, take a moment, smash that like button, give the show a thumbs up. The more you do that, the more you help us, because that tells YouTube you're enjoying the show, and they in turn will recommend it to others.
Sure.
And by the way, ZELINA VEGA, I took a clip from my Friday show and I posted it as an individual clip yesterday.
Boy, oh boy.
Because a lot of people have been asking me, we'll get back to Raw. We already talked about a couple. We'll get back to Raw in a minute. A lot of people been telling me, you got to put individual clips. Well, I'm going to start doing that. So the first clip I did was what I said about Zelina on Friday. Now, I made the big mistake by including Andrew Yang in my title. Anyone out there that wants to see for yourself later, do a YouTube search. Type in ZELINA VEGA returns to WWE. Or type in ZELINA VEGA Andrew Yang. And let me know if my video comes up. The answer will be no. Because I wrote in my title, ZELINA VEGA returns to WWE, Andrew Yang, Pro Wrestling, and others did absolutely nothing. They basically no-sold ZELINA VEGA. And I guess by writing something negative towards a political candidate, whatever you want to call it, Andrew Yang, it got shadow banned. And I wasn't changing it. I wasn't going to change it for hits. And Courtney, thank you for coming by last night. Fun. The convo last night was funny. I was responding to some of the things that was going on and said, and, I forgot I had family right behind me, and they're like, what the hell is he talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Roman candles. We'll just leave it at that. But let's talk for a moment about ZELINA VEGA, Mish. ZELINA VEGA is back with WWE, and she showed up on SmackDown. She's in Money in the Bank. And my Cliff Notes version of what I said Friday is this, Mish. I don't know how you feel about it, but my feeling on it is this.
All right.
ZELINA VEGA supported unionization. She deleted the tweet. She had a productive conversation with Gabrielle Cartieres, which you and I said a long time ago. She is nothing but a fucking ambulance chaser and a former star of 90210. She's more than that, but that's how she comes across. We said since day one that Andrew Yang wasn't going to do a goddamn thing for pro wrestling. Andrew Yang didn't even give wrestlers like names, phone numbers, recommendations, see this person, you want to unionize, do this, do that, do this, do that. The only thing he did was get his name in lights. You had all of these people in pro wrestling, wrestlers, go back to when she got let go. All these wrestlers that were showing all this support to her. You go, girl. You go, girl. You support unionization? Me too. I agree. It's time. Anybody remember who wrote those? I'm not going to put anybody under the bus, but a lot of famous blue check marks that are still on TV and some that aren't, but are still in the business, they all did nothing. They tweet fucked. They did nothing. At the end of the day, not one wrestler went ahead and said, it's time. We need to form a union. I am not going to wrestle another day until we get a union. Everybody talks a good game, but when it came to their own backyard, they fucking disappeared. And Zelina Vega ended up being on a mountain all by herself and realized, this is just an opinion, and realized, wow, all these people felt bad for me. And they all said the union was a great idea. But when it came time that we need to all get together and do it, not one fucking person stepped up. You know who probably stepped up? Social media. You know, the problem is that everybody tuning in, me, Mish, everyone else, we're not the ones. We could scream at the top of their lungs, there must be change. Independent contractors make no sense. Until the wrestlers themselves get together and do this, the next time anybody out there brings up, we need a union, fuck independent contractors, look the other way. Tell them to shut the fuck up. Because they did nothing for her.
I went ahead and contacted SAG-AFTRA back in the day when all of this first went down. And I reached out to SAG-AFTRA, and the unions applied to SAG-AFTRA. And there were different union representatives that hit me back up and said, yeah, you just have to have the wrestlers contact us. Have the wrestlers contact us. We passed along the information to different people. And most of them probably ignored it. I think there was a couple that said thank you, and that was literally it. But there was no movement. There was nothing done. So here you actively have SAG-AFTRA and unions that apply SAG-AFTRA searching for wrestlers, saying, hey, here's a union established already. Come to us, and we'll form a union. And nothing. So it's not even like the wrestlers had to go through the dirty work of forming it and everything else like that. There are already unions available right now that would happily take wrestlers, and wrestlers don't do it. So who is that really on? Where's the smoke and mirrors really at? It's not on the union. It's not on SAG-AFTRA. And as silly as it sounds, it's not even on Andrew Yang. It's the wrestlers that didn't do anything, DT. All the bitching, all the moaning, all the picketing, all the revolt, nobody did anything. The information is out there. There's willing participants to bring about a union, and all they have to do is say yes, and none of them do it.
You know which wrestlers probably were in favor of the union would have done it?
Raven.
Jimmy Blow Blob. The 5'2", 360-pound green indie wrestler that will never get booked for anything for more than maybe a sandwich and a soda. You know, oh yeah, I'll join a union. All the blue check marks, all the famous people out there, all the people with power.
Yep.
They all put their tail between their legs and did nothing. Nothing. And Andrew Young,
I want to say this too, is people are right. Unions can be shady, but you have to step into a union before you can even find out if it's a shady union or not. You know what I mean? You can't sit there and worry about, are they going to fuck us over? Are they going to fuck wrestlers over? If you don't even attempt it, if you don't even make the attempt, like, how do you know that the unions would be successful or unsuccessful for wrestlers? I know Jesse Ventura tried it. I see that too, but there are actual unions already established. So I don't even know what the hell Jesse Ventura even did. That's questionable at best.
I said on Friday too, I think Andrew Yang really truly means well, but people actually thought that he was going to do something. Right. And all he did was get all these retweets and likes and interviews. And this guy, he's a politician. Number one, he is a politician. And just because you like that politician doesn't mean they're not going to be a politician. He basically took this and used this to put himself over. Anybody remember when Biden was still running for president and this guy actually said in interviews that if Biden is elected president, I'm in his ear. And if I get elected as head of the Department of Labor or whatever it was, I'm going to go right after Vince McMahon. You think he was actually looking to do that? No, he was trying to get the fucking job. He used pro wrestling to try to... How come Joe Biden has not even chose Andrew Yang? If anything, not even to groom his dog. Andrew Yang is sitting out there trying to be mayor in New York, trying to be queen in England, trying to be here, trying to be there. The guy is a fucking politician. He's a wrestling fan. He means well, but at the end of the day, he was not doing a damn thing. All he did was rip the scab off, and I personally think ZELINA VEGA, I felt bad for her when she came out on Friday, because the first words out of my mouth that I said on the show Friday was, you have all these people who are going to call her a sellout. You can have all these people who are going to say she's sleeping with the enemy. And what do you expect her to do? Like, totally, like, kill her wrestling career so she could be on a mountain all by herself? How's about calling out all the people in pro wrestling that everybody likes to rub elbows with and say, how come nobody ever stepped up to, like, try to, like, do this union thing? How come nobody voiced out? Other than, you go, girl. That's all they did. You go, girl. They did nothing for her. She went back, and I think Aleister Black will follow her in WWE. I think Aleister Black will end up back in WWE, or I think he should go to NWA. I don't think he should go to AEW. Everybody's fantasizing about him in AEW. I can't picture him leapfrogging so many people that AEW, has their favorites of. But I'm glad we both agree on that. I'm glad we both agree on that, because ZELINA VEGA, it's very easy for us to say where she should work and where she shouldn't work. She's got to pay her bills. She's got rent. She's got expenses. She's got a house, taxes, a relationship. She's got a future to worry about. I know OnlyFans and cosplaying is all that good. Yeah, 10 years from now, what happens? What is she going to do? Be the grandma of OnlyFans or whatever it is? And she's going to cosplay being like, come on. The woman loves to wrestle. She wants to wrestle. WWE gave her a deal to come back. She came back. That's her decision. This is what I think is the most important thing. And somebody wrote this in the comments. I don't remember who it was. I give them credit if I remembered. But if you really cared about ZELINA VEGA when she got released, and you really wanted to see everything done right for ZELINA VEGA, if you supported her, support her decision to go back to WWE. If you truly support her, you got to support her decision to go back there. I don't think any of us should have the right to say to her, you're an idiot for going back. Okay, I won't go back. Pay my rent. Pay my bills. Pay this. I don't want to cosplay. I don't want to be known as the queen of cosplay. If you support her decision, whatever she does, unless it's something illegal. That's how I feel about it.
Fair enough.
A7607. Have a great night. Let me know tomorrow if you get it. Just drop me an email. Now, before we go back to Raw, let's talk about this. And again, I got to thank Crazy Cruiserweight for bringing this up. And wow, the night is flying fast. So we got to start like rapido because, we definitely want to keep this show around 2 hours tonight, no longer. Tomorrow we got Patreon too. But let's talk about this for a minute. Every week, Cruiserweight was giving us the countdown. Actually, let's show the countdown first. This was the countdown for number 50 down to 31. You watch this back, you could pause the video so you could just look at the list and look at it closely. Now the Briscoes are not Mark and Jay, by the way, for number 32. All right, here is the other countdown from number 30 to number 11. So you can, again, pause that. You can look at that list. So now they got down to the top 10. And the 5 that we expected to be on that list are on there. Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, New Day, Hart Foundation. 50 years of WWE, WWF, WWF wrestling. They chose the New Day as the number 1 tag team of all time. Now, I have no idea what Mish is about to say, but some of you already know my feeling on this, and my feeling is this. Do I think the New Day should be in the top 10 for WWE of all time? Absolutely. For this generation, they are very beloved, very successful, not complaining at all. Would I have put them in the top 5? I am not sure. I think I would maybe put 6 or 7. I personally would have put them right above the Usos. But WWE chose them as number 1. Now, the one thing that pisses me off the most about this list is the fact that the Brainbusters are not even in the top 50 because they don't like Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, especially because they're in AEW right now. And I think that is ridiculously bad.
What about Test and Albert and Trish? Where are they?
That's another one, sure. But my take on this is this.
Yeah.
The reason and the only reason why I would not have put the New Day as number 1 is because every other tag team that you're looking on this list for the most part in the top 10 has only 2 participants, not 3.
There's a few on there.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Shield is all the way down to like number 22.
Right.
A couple of years ago, they wanted us to know that the Shield was the greatest faction of all time because they're trying to diminish the value of the Shield. So Roman Reigns as a singular champion is that much more distant from the Shield. But the New Day
Demolition on there. Demolition was Axe, Smash, and Crush.
Well, I don't think they consider Crush. I personally don't think Crush is even a factor on there. But I just personally think I treat it like a handicap. Like if you always use the example duos and tennis.
Boys. You don't look at the Dudley Boys as being Bubba, Devon, and
Spike. They're not including Spike on that. You look at the video; it was only Bubba Ray and Devon.
But I mean, wouldn't you kind of look at New Day that way?
No.
I mean, it's Xavier, Big E, and Kofi, and Xavier's kind of the Spike. No,
because I think Xavier is tremendously improved. Xavier, honestly. Sure. I think he's phenomenal, Xavier. This is my point on this. You look at any of these other tag teams in the top 10. All right. Dynamite Kid, a little bit too much on the Babanya. And Dynamite Kid no-showed a lot of shows, and British Bulldog had to team up with the Junkyard Dog or someone else. All right? We didn't have British Bulldog number 3. So Davey Boy had to go on his own a lot. All right, you go to some of these other teams, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Oh, DWI. Oh, it's okay. We got Johnny Uso that could be in there. The New Day, you have 3 people. So, okay, Xavier's not up to par yet, so we'll just push really Big E and Kofi. You know, my point is when you have 3 people, you take the best 2 at any given day and you could put them out there. When you only have 2 and one may not be riding all that high right now, that's it. You're stuck with those 2. And I think the fact that there's 3 and all 3 are in an even playing field, I think that makes it a little bit unfair. I don't think they should have been number 1 for the simple reason that there were 3. If there were 2, I would say, okay, I have no problem with it. But the fact that there was 3, I personally think I would have put them number 6. And people that are asking right now who I would have put as number 1, I would have put the Dudleys.
Unfair.
So what's your take on this?
That's just a personal preference to put the Dudleys up there. Or do you think that they actually deserve it?
I remember how important the Dudleys were during the Attitude Era.
Mhm.
And the Dudleys were so celebrated with you don't base the greatest just on the number of championships that are won.
Right.
But
absolutely agree.
I think the Road Warrior, let me put it this way, the Hart Foundation, if you really break it down, the Hart Foundation I don't think was long enough to even be in the top 5. I think the Hart Foundation is number 3 more than anything because Natty is there and because of what happened with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Because back in the day, the Hart Foundation was awesome. They weren't like a big-time tag team for that long. We're not talking about a 10, 15-year run as a tag team. Brett went into IC and then went to heavyweight title. So I would have put the Hart Foundation in the top 10. I wouldn't have put the Legion of Doom number 1 because the Legion of Doom, to me, were better in the NWA than WWE.
Right. Yeah, as the Road Warriors are much better. Same with the Steiners.
Yeah.
Much better, I
wouldn't have put the Brothers of Destruction in the top 10. Kane and The Undertaker, I don't think were together that long.
They were, you know what, with that, though, it's more like the individual careers kind of coming together. I think the Brothers of Destruction deserves a top 10 just because of how much they meant to the WWE, WWF. Now, I agree with you about New Day. I would not have put New Day in the top 5 easily. I would say, honestly, Hardy Boys number 1, Edge and Christian number 2, Dudley's number 3. And the reason is because tag team wrestling was never any hotter in the WWE or WWF than when those 3 teams were going at it back in the day on ladders and cages, TLC matches. They created an entire different style of wrestling because of the way that they would wrestle against each other. And I would only put the Hardy Boys at the top. They're not my favorite team. I mean, if this was based on Mish's favorite, 50 tag teams, Demolition would be number 1 and Power and Glory would be number 2. So I kid, but as far as value to the WWE, Hardy Boys would be number 1. Not only did they connect with a young audience, I mean, meanwhile, you had like the demographic that was following Stone Cold and The Rock and Mankind and Undertaker. But on the tag team side of things, it was all about the Hardys versus Edge and Christian, and then versus the Dudleys. And then maybe you throw in Tess and Albert as the 4th team. You know what I mean? Maybe you throw in somebody else as the 4th team, but New Age Outlaws as the 4th team. But I'm sorry, when you think of the tag team division, when you think of the recreation of tag team matches, you have to give it to those 3 teams. You just have to.
They put the Mega Powers at number 13. The Mega Powers were a storyline.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
But that's the value of it. Like, when I first saw this, I was wondering, do you think they did it based upon how much merch that each team sold? Because I could definitely believe New Day would be number 1 if it was based on merch, right? And Hardy's number 2.
I mean, like I said, I don't have any problem if the New Day was in the top 5 at number 5. Right. But the turnaround, and you know what? I also want to make mention of this. I said it Friday too. Props to all 3 members because they were very humble about this on social media. And truthfully, I'm not reading their minds, but especially Big E's reaction to it. If you really dissect what he was saying, I don't think they feel that they should have been number one. Because Big E even said, like, I know there's going to be a lot of people, I truly believe that they would never say that publicly. You would never say that for your employer, like, oh, we shouldn't have been number one. I mean, they might be humble about it, but, I personally think they should have waited a couple of more years. And this is why I think Big E is winning the briefcase, and this is why I think Big E could very well go up against Lashley. Because this all feels like all part of a bigger storyline. We brought up Xavier Woods a couple of weeks ago, and then we said, oh, probably see Kofi versus Lashley at Money in the Bank. And Kofi is kind of like fighting, Lashley after what happened with Xavier. Then I think something is going to happen with Kofi, and this is going to piss off Big E. And I think Big E, if he has the briefcase, he's going to want to go after Lashley. All three members of New Day are going to go after Lashley. That's where it feels. Right. And, oh, by the way, let's just throw this greatest 50 tag teams of all time and put them number one right smack in the middle of this storyline. So let's increase the value. And at the same time, like I said, the Shield, 2 years ago, considered the greatest faction of all time. Greatest faction ever. And now Roman Reigns is on a roll. And they put him all the way down to number 22. And then Roman Reigns just so happens to have an interview last week and say, no, I don't ever want to reform the Shield. I am myself champion. That's it. So you could see exactly that this was done by design to push certain agendas. But I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but I don't think they deserve to be number one.
It could also just be a self-flatulating list in order to get people to talk. I mean, WWE is not above doing dramatic things in order to get people to, how dare the New Day be number one, so that wouldn't surprise me either, as opposed to this contrived, detailed, in-depth analysis of what this actually might mean. I mean, it could just be somebody throwing it up on the damn site. So.
Top 5, no problem. Number 1, 3 members, most of others is 2. I think a little unfair, my opinion.
Sure.
King of Games, what's up, my brother? Do we think John Cena could appear at Money in the Bank? Not to wrestle, but to get people excited.
Sure. I mean, he's been talking about it in interviews that he's coming back.
Yeah.
He definitely said he'll be back before the end of the year.
He will be back for SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's at this point just a speculation of when he might pop up. And you're right. He could pop up at Money in the Bank, maybe do like a backstage segment, like where I don't know, Nia Jax accidentally bumps into him or something. Who knows? Maybe
what I think happens? I think Roman Reigns beats Edge with a Seth Rollins interference. So that sets up Rollins versus Edge at SummerSlam. Right. I think Roman Reigns comes out on the following SmackDown and brags how he took out everybody. Or Paul Heyman cuts that promo, and you could add Edge to the list, and then Cena's music will hit. It'll be a live audience, and the crowd will go fucking nuts for it. And that will start Roman Reigns versus Cena at SummerSlam.
Sure.
I don't know if that'll happen, but I just, like, people are saying, like, why isn't Sasha Banks back yet? Shh. Don't worry. When live fans come back, they want that appearance to be an eruption, not just LED screens doing this. That's why they're holding. They needed Edge back for Money in the Bank, and that's why he came back early. But I think you will see Cena within 2 to 3 weeks, and Sasha Banks the same. And we got Becky Lynch, and we'll see who else comes back. So we'll see. We'll see. So let's get back about Raw tonight. Let's fill in the blanks a little bit more. So, we were talking earlier about Johnny Drip Drip beating Ricochet by countout.
Yes.
And, they had another insane dive outside the ring, but John Morrison enters back in the ring, and Ricochet is like on his knees crawling. And it reminded me, I went to I don't know if anybody's ever had this happen to them, but I went to a buffet about 2 years ago, like a lunch buffet, where you go and they got all these like trays of food, all different foods. You could just walk up and you take scoops or whatever. And there was this one person that was in a wheelchair. And I was trying to reach over to grab a couple of shrimp. And, you could tell that the person was like trying to like block people off so they could just take what they want to take. And every time I tried to like move over to grab the shrimp, like the wheel would be in the fucking way. And, you try to be polite and everything, but, like the person is like wheeling, just to get what they want before someone else does. That's what it looked like with Miz today. Miz, it just was hilarious. Him blocking Ricochet. What I understand is why Ricochet just didn't crawl to the other side of the ring.
Right. Well, I guess he's supposed to be disoriented.
Yeah, it's true. But next week, Falls Count Anywhere.
Right.
That's going to be good. I'm enjoying that WWE's acknowledging these two guys killing it in the ring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's good on them.
Yeah. Riddle selling the foot injury, which to me didn't really make all that sense, because if he's got that bad of a foot injury, and you think of the storyline with Adam Pearce and people not being cleared to have a match, why would they announce a match between Riddle and AJ Styles? But they had a match, and I tell you, Riddle, if you pay close attention, I mean, he really is very aware and very astute as far as, he's playing the injured foot, limping, trying to climb the rope with one foot. When he did the Karate Kid thing, we were laughing. If you actually go back and watch it. If you watch him do the Karate Kid thing, look to your right. I swear to God, you'll see me like this with the deli man. It made the camera. It was pretty fucking funny. You'll see me like this.
Nice.
But he's doing a great job, man. And
he's improving. He's getting that time. His in-ring is fantastic. There's nothing really to complain about. And as far as the character goes, he's evolved it from a really dumb blowout to a kind of a fanboy, Randy Orton fanboy, who doesn't really come off as dumb as he did. So he's definitely developed his character a little bit. He's not bad on the mic. He's pretty funny, and he's doing a good job with it. Don't know where the end goes, but for the most part, I'm enjoying the ride. I think Riddle deserves what he's getting right now, and it's nice to see somebody that's come up from NXT that doesn't feel like they've gotten a giant load of shit dropped on their shoulders. So good for him.
Yeah. Courtney, you're right. When they did Miz TV early on, and we had all the participants in the ring that have been announced so far with the ladder match, Riddle made Ricochet and Drew laugh tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they're baby faces, so they chuckle. I mean, it's not like he made heels laugh. But Riddle, I mean, he's on the top of the ladder, and he's like, Omos, you're almost as tall as me. High five. I mean, I think, seriously, if you break it down, there's been some people who have come up from NXT and done a good job on the main roster.
Sure.
More times than not, it's the opposite. But I think it's safe to say now that Riddle is one of those guys that came to the main roster, and they're doing right with him right now.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Based upon your perception, do you think that the Matt Riddle character is working better like this because this is closer to who he actually is backstage too? Yeah. Because I have a feeling like the dumb gimmick didn't work because he's not that guy. Right. You know what I mean? And a badass gimmick doesn't work with Matt Riddle because he's not that guy. But this kind of like cheesy goofball, making snide jokes, like little jokes here and there, and kind of being a fanboy. Do you think that it's working so well because it's closer to being genuine than not?
See, I'll answer it like this. Benjamin brings up when he said when he was on the ladder, and he's like, wow, I'm really high on this ladder. And, you know, people are thinking high is in stoned. The thing is that what has changed with his character is that early on, he came across as this stoned, you know, remember I said early on, like a Louis Spicolli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yes.
Was it Louis Spicolli? No, Louis Spicoli's the wrestler. What was Spicoli's first name in Fast Times?
Louis Spicoli.
Someone in the chat, what was Spicoli's? Was it Jeffrey Spicoli? Someone don't remember. It's like a 5-second delay. But he was like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that he just was clueless, just stupid, stoned all the time, like really, really dumb. And when they kept bringing up like, oh, let's have some bro nuts. Oh, you know, Jeff Spicoli. Oh, wow, I got it right. Jeffrey Spicoli. Jeff Spicoli. All right. So now he comes across as a guy that is just having fun, you know, that enjoys riding his scooter, innocent, you know, everything is great and just having fun. And he comes across as someone that could live like on a houseboat with one room and be happy and, you know, eating like macaroni and cheese, like just a simple, fun guy that could be manipulated. I like that the character doesn't feel forced.
Right. This
doesn't feel forced.
Right.
Yeah. I'm loving it. And Randy Orton got a couple of weeks off to relax. So, you know, we'll have him return soon. But hey, you know, he gets the win on AJ Styles. And that was pretty good. Unexpected
I like
win.
Damian Priest too. I mean, I know this is kind of a subtext, but I like the fact that Damian Priest is kind of taking the role of the guy who's watching out for Riddle too.
You know, like Damian Priest turns on Riddle.
I don't know if he's going to turn on Riddle or if Randy Orton turns on Riddle
eventually, and Damian Priest.
Right. I almost have this feeling like Priest is the, what do they call that? Like the unknown, the unknown.
Yeah, he's like the X Factor.
Right. There's going to be a role for Priest involved with Riddle and Orton and everything else like that. But what it is right now, I couldn't tell you.
The Viking Raiders were involved in this match, caused a distraction. It was a little bit goofy. You know, one is in Thunderdome on one side, you know, standing in front of the LED screens. The other's on the other side. They distract. So what we find out is next week, I think Eric is taking on Omos. First singles match for Omos, by the way.
Yeah.
AJ is going to take on Ivar, I think, or it might be the reverse, actually. And in 2 weeks, they get their tag team title shot. Interesting that they're not getting it on a pay-per-view. I think Riddle and Randy Orton are next in line for the tag title shot.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Riddle and Orton versus AJ and Omos should be the match for SummerSlam. And you guys are going to kill me. I'm looking down, and with everything with Thunderdome tonight, I didn't charge my phone up. And it's literally, I'm looking at it, and I see the red line with 7%. So you're going to have to forgive me for tonight, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to take calls. So when I plug this into the mixer, it doesn't charge the phone. It just allows me to do it in the mixer.
Right.
So
it's passive USB. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do calls another time. So
sure.
I apologize. I've been, like I said, I've been sitting on my ass here since 7:28 this evening. It is now 12:40 something. So over 5 hours sitting in my ass over here. So, but anyway, so let's get back to Raw. So we had Mansoor versus Ali. And this is all about, what I don't understand about this is that playing the student versus teacher storyline. I don't recall Mansoor under the tutelage of Ali all this time. I mean, Ali just was giving him a couple of suggestions, promos in the back. When did this become teacher and student?
I think it was something that was cut out. I think that this was supposed to be a storyline that lasted a lot longer than it did, and they just put a rush on it. I don't think there was a major outcome for either of these guys from this. And it is what it is. It's not the first time that WWE's cut out a storyline. We hear about it happening all the time, actually. So the idea that we missed all the student-teacher roles and angles and promos or whatever it was, can't say I'm surprised.
I'll tell you,
so
I like Mansoor. I like him.
Yeah, Mansoor is okay. Mansoor needs a direction. Mansoor needs a storyline against somebody with a little bit more weight. He needs to go up. Mustafa Ali is not going to be the guy to help elevate Mansoor. Nobody cares. Really? I don't think anybody really cares if Mansoor beats the hell out of Mustafa Ali. You got to put Mansoor with somebody else. Mustafa Ali, you know what? I thought he was interesting in his role as the advice giver wearing the suit. I think that was probably his best role. It sure wasn't anything else that he's been putting on for the last year or so. So I thought they finally found something for him. But yeah, between Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, get him away from Ali. Ali is a black hole.
Wow.
You know, everything he touches turns to crap. And I'm sorry, I know he's a Chicago boy or whatever, but seriously, it's just not working. You know, like the one thing that he has that's working, it seems like that they're already pulling him away from it. I like the little corporate Mustafa Ali. I think corporate Mustafa Ali was an interesting idea, but apparently they didn't think so either. So
I totally disagree with you. Okay. I think Mansoor and Ali is the right way to go right now. And yes, I bring up, you know, the country they come from. Like, I think that kind of connects them to immediately. And that's not trying to be, you know, using race or anything or religion or nationality, but it really connects the two. And Mansoor is not affiliated with any other wrestler on the roster. So Ali putting in that role, it gives Ali a legit, you know, person to feud with and vice versa. And I think Mansoor getting a little bit, I think he gets the rub from Ali on this. I actually am enjoying it.
No.
I'm enjoying it. Really, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a hell of a lot more than
got a rub from Mustafa Ali. I don't think anybody else from that group from Retribution got any rub from Mustafa Ali. I don't think that anything that Mustafa Ali touches is good. I think that his best role is sitting back right now. I think Mansoor, you could do a lot more with him by kind of mixing him up in random tag teams. I think you could do more with having him go up against somebody else that's a little bit more established name-wise. So
I'll tell you something that I'm really trying to get behind, and I can't. I just can't.
What's that? Jinder Mahal?
No. I actually saved that because I actually have something good to say about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They got to stop the Jaxson, Ryker, Elias stuff. We want to give Jaxson, Ryker a chance. I know
we are way
there's some veteran wrestlers out there that really love his work. But I'm telling you, I think I recorded it earlier. Ted DiBiase in our ear. All right, big cheers. Big cheers. Let's see that energy. Jaxson, Ryker, big cheers. I mean, really pushing it. And right. Me, you know, I did a little bit like this, but I was just like, I don't want to cheer him. I mean, and I didn't want to get booted for just having my hands on my ass. But I looked around at a lot of other people, and people just didn't seem to be feeling it either. And this Elias Ryker storyline should have ended with the strap match last week.
Yeah.
But this is just, you know, tonight we had a tag match. It was Cedric Alexander and Elias versus, what was it? R-Truth and Jaxson Ryker?
Right.
It was R-Truth and Jaxson Ryker. And Elias still petrified of Jaxson Ryker, so he walks out of the match. R-Truth left the match early because all the 24/7 guys started running around Tozawa with the title. So R-Truth runs to the back, try to win the 24/7 championship. So basically, we end up with...
You're downselling this a lot, man. You're not really telling how the character is. Jaxson Ryker is unhinged. He's absolutely unhinged.
Doesn't feel unhinged, man.
Okay.
You know, he should be melting candle wax on himself.
No, you don't have to do that in order to be unhinged. He's an unhinged guy because he just doesn't care.
Doesn't feel it.
Doesn't care about. He doesn't care if he gets hurt. Like, he seems like a guy who's willing to almost go over the edge and beat someone mercilessly after the bell. You know what I mean?
But it's not happening.
What?
It's not happening.
Well, he dropped Cedric like a brick, and then he stares and he starts yelling, starts screaming at Elias, "Come get some. Come get me, man. Come on, step in the fucking ring." Like, it was great. And Elias is like, well, I left the oven on,
I really feel bad for saying what I'm about to say. I really do. I honestly legit feel bad what I'm about to say. When I look at Jaxson Ryker's eyes when he walks down the rampway for his match, if I was in his head, you know what I feel like he's saying right now? Man, this has got to work, or otherwise I'm going to be fucking released. That's what it feels like. It's like he's amping it up.
At all. I don't get that vibe at all. I think he's
just can't get into it. I've tried.
He's very comfortable with being angry. He's a guy who's comfortable with being angry, and it shows. It looks good.
Dude,
he is happy in being angry. He's good at being angry.
Last week, he whipped himself about 70 times in his back.
Yeah.
When they showed the strap match replay from last week, they zoomed in on a tiny little speck of red on the front of his chest above his nipple. And I'm like, he whipped his back 70 times last week, and the best they could show as a close-up was like a little tiny, as if you might have dropped a little tiny grease while you were cooking steak on a frying pan.
It's not like he has... Okay, all right. So, well, you have to kayfabe this one, DT. The strap that he beat himself with wasn't Daddy's belt. Okay, Daddy's belt, if he was whipping himself with Daddy's belt, he'd have 70 lashes on his back. But that fake cow leather, what was he hitting himself with? With a pleather lash? Come on, it's like, oh, I'm beating myself with a sock.
I want to get behind the guy. I really do. I really want to get behind the guy because look, I feel like he's alone in that company. Just look at some of the tweets of a lot of other fellow coworkers when, he supported Trump back then. I mean, people got unhinged. I feel bad for him. I want to get behind it.
Okay.
It just feels like it's in a dead end. I don't know. I don't know what else they can do. Maybe he's got to really visibly cause himself more pain. I mean, obviously, we're not going to see blood. When guys, I don't know what you do. I honestly don't know. Outside of Elias, I don't know. I can't get behind him.
Mm.
Another thing tonight kind of confused me. My arms got tired from doing this the entire match.
Yeah.
But the Lucha House Party pinned T-Bar and Mace.
Right.
Why?
Cause.
I mean, I'm feeling T-Bar and Mace. I like that team. Nothing against the Lucha House Party. They had a couple of great matches in NXT recently. They got a couple of tag team title shots. And what was the point of that tonight? I was just totally baffled.
It was very much an exhibition match. That's all it was. I think it was just a time filler. I don't see that. I mean, maybe this will turn into some kind of a feud, but it felt like an exhibition match. I don't think there was much to it.
I think they're really selling T-Bar and Mace a little bit short.
Oh, absolutely. They're both very talented individuals, but that doesn't mean WWE has anything for them.
Yeah.
So
right now it doesn't feel
Mustafa Ali than they do for T-Bar and Mace.
I personally think the Viking Raiders versus T-Bar and Mace could be a nice feud. That could turn out to be a nice feud. But
sure,
you got to get to that point. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rematch next week of the Lucha House Party versus T-Bar and Mace. Maybe they get their win back. But yeah, it was just weird because when I watched the match, I was very impressed with what I saw on both sides. But I just kept thinking about, we just had the Lucha House Party get all that momentum, with the NXT stuff and everything else, and it didn't work out to anything. So, why not create a little momentum for T-Bar and Mace? And we got the opposite tonight. So that's that 50-50 booking that a lot of people hate. And to me, I think it wreaked its ugly head. Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. I know it ended in a disqualification because Drew's henchman, Veer, and I don't remember the other guy's name, they interfered. And then Jinder Mahal walks away with the sword. Now, to set this up, Jinder Mahal pulls up on a really cool looking motorcycle. It looked kind of funny because he just didn't seem like he belonged on a motorcycle. I just never seen Jinder on a motorcycle before. And the reason why Jinder's mad is because Jinder wanted a ride with Drew. And it took Drew 3 days to say no. And he also misspelled the word two. I don't know. I like the match. And you could tell if you look closely, these two guys were loving it. And I give Drew credit because Drew made Jinder look great tonight. He sold phenomenal for Jinder. But I like the match. I don't see Drew winning the briefcase. I think Jinder versus Drew might be the next feud for Drew.
It would work and make sense. And obviously, Jinder hinted at their past. So they were trying to remind everybody that they used to wrestle together and they used to be friends and everything else like that.
I think Corey Graves mentioned 3MB tonight too.
Right. But I mean, so did Jinder. So that's what I'm saying is they're clearly going to make this some kind of feud based on the past. But the setup was a little wonky.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you short texted me 2 days later? Like, I don't know. And then Drew's whole thing with this sword. This sword is a family heirloom and blah, blah,
what did he
blah.
say?
The Loch
Monster.
monster.
That promo went on forever.
Oh, dude. And it's funny, too, because it's not even sharpened. You look at the sword, it's never been sharpened.
I know.
It's a cosmetic sword that you can find at every single knife shop at the mall.
I honestly thought Jinder was going to break it in half with his knee.
He could have. That's how flimsy it looks.
I honestly thought he was going to break it. I mean, when you steal someone's sword that's 5 foot tall, what do you do? What
happened to the sword that they had in the WrestleMania promos? What happened to that one? That was a badass looking sword.
Yeah. Well, that one will really slice you up.
Maybe.
They can't use one to slice you up.
Oh, well.
Look, if you ever stay over my house, there's a possibility I might steal $50 out of your wallet, or I might steal your chain. Or if someone else stays over my house, I might steal their watch. How do you steal a 5 foot sword? What do? You put it in your pocket? You hide it down your pants? What do you do? I mean, how do you put it on the motorcycle? I'm going to take now what? Now what? You're going to ride it out the window with the trunk open? Why would you steal someone? I'm just saying in storyline, why would you steal someone's sword? And now what? Seriously. You just imagine it's in the car. Oh, we got to roll down the window. It's too big for inside the car. And then they go through a toll booth and it hits the thing with the change when it goes through. Seriously, you'd be like, bing. Why would you steal a 5 foot thing? Are you stupid? I don't know. I just thought that was kind of goofy.
Well, now they have a reason to feud. They
Yes.
created a what do they call it? Not a red herring. What do they call that? when you insert an item into a movie and the whole movie's based around it, but it has nothing to do with the
red herring.
Whatever. No, not a red herring. That's a misnomer. Anyways, so now they have a reason to feud. There's an item that's been stolen. So now you're right. It's not just what if they feud. Now it's they're going to feud because now Drew has to get his family heirloom back. So,
McGuffin?
I mean, it is what it is. It's a smart, MacGuffin. There you go.
I never heard of that term before, for real.
Yes, it's a MacGuffin.
I thought you were going to say McMuffin or something like that, like Egg McMuffin. McGuffin.
Yes,
Never heard of that before.
Thank you. But
cool.
Yeah, no. So now you have a reason for the feud, and they did wrestle well tonight. They did do well tonight. Look, I'm not a Jinder fan. I'm sure there's millions and millions and millions of Jinder fans out there. I'm sure there are, but I'm not one of them. And I think that they had a good match tonight. I agree. And now that you have a MacGuffin, now you have a reason to continue this feud, and people get to laugh along with it. So hopefully they escalate this feud in a way that people will enjoy it. Look, Drew, clearly it seems like Drew wrestles really good with his actual friends because he had a fantastic set with Sheamus. Now he had a good match with Drew. Let's see more of that. Like, if you're Drew's buddy, you're going to put on a fucking clinic with the guy. So let's hope that this turns out well, too.
Mike from New York stole my thought. Drew's got to steal the bike, or he's got to fuck it up.
Isn't that Baron Corbin's bike? I could have swore that was Baron Corbin's bike.
You know what? It could very well be. What do you think about that Baron Corbin storyline? It feels like they're going to turn him babyface. Sympathetic.
Yeah,
he's losing everything.
I don't know.
He's losing everything. He's not going to be able to afford laundry soap. He's going to have shit stains on his underwears because he can't afford to wash them.
To wearing the waiter uniform, you mean?
Yeah, he's going to go actually really work for Applebee's. It'd be funny if they actually make him like the servant for Carmella, like they did with Reginald.
No.
I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow, man, but it feels like Cameron Grimes is going to be the servant for LA Knight for a month. Those vignettes are being recorded as we speak. I think LA Knight's feet are going to be like massaged and pampered. Big shout out to La Nostra Familia, by the way. Big shout out to our channel members. And what I'm going to do from now on, I think people will notice it, is everybody likes to see their name first. So what I'm doing is, for everybody who's been a channel member for a while, every show, I'm going to take the last name and put it first on both. So this way, everybody gets an opportunity to be first in line. So much love, much love. Thank you for the support. And for everyone out there, if you're enjoying the show, again, we'd really appreciate it if you gave the show a quick thumbs up. The more you do that, the more that tells YouTube that you enjoy the show, and they recommend it to others. And by the way, I don't remember who it was earlier, but he did a search under ZELINA VEGA and Andrew Yang, and go fucking figure, my video came up. So maybe it's not shadow banned anymore, but yesterday it was shadow banned for about 18 hours. Every time I typed the search result, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I know I spelled it right. I actually retyped it because I was like, I don't know, maybe I used a weird symbol that I can't see. But so I don't know. I kind of like the Jinder Drew storyline because I think of Drew and Sheamus, which was great. And again, like you said, Drew McIntyre seems to work extra well with friends. So this might turn into something special. We'll see. Sheamus is cleared. He will take on Humberto Carrillo next week for the championship. Okay. Why he doesn't have a Money in the Bank match. Obviously, if you notice, Ricochet is not getting a title shot right now because Ricochet's part of the briefcase. Right. So they're going to stick with Humberto Carrillo. So we'll see what happens with that. If you notice tonight, other than the women's 8-women tag, we really didn't get much as far as women's matches tonight.
No.
We did get that segment with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley that I just thought was awful. I thought it was awful. I felt like I was looking at two mimes.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Rhea is not a good foil for Charlotte. They just don't cut promos well together. Charlotte can absolutely cut promos, but you can't do it by herself. And Rhea comes off as so much of a heel. I mean, she's supposed to be the baby face in this whole feud, and she comes down to the ring with a crutch mocking her the whole way. Like, the actual fuck. Why are we supposed to care about Rhea anymore? Why
Can I
are
tell
we
you
supposed
this?
to care about this girl? Go ahead, man.
I purposely was looking forward to hear what Ted DiBiase was going to say in our earpiece, because all throughout the night, all right, everybody, I recorded, it's hilarious. He's like, all right, AJ Styles is coming out, big booze, everybody. And Ted DiBiase would go, he would actually do this. He'd go, ooh, ooh. Like, he would actually do that. When Rhea Ripley came out, all I kept thinking about is, all right, Ted, all right, WWE, what should we do? He didn't talk one time.
Oh, see,
nobody told us to say a damn thing.
Right.
I mean, that should tell WWE.
She's not likable. She's not likable, DT. Nothing that she does screams, oh man, I want to back this horse. Nothing that she does. She is not a likable babyface. You're literally watching a feud with two heels. If anything, Charlotte becomes more likable because she's more believable. And that's the problem when she's supposed to be the ultimate heel.
I honestly think at one time you'll actually see me on video going like this for Rhea Ripley. And then I looked around and saw everybody booing her, and I literally went like this. They never said a word. And look, we shouldn't, obviously, I don't agree of being coached of what to say, because to me that reeks TNA cast members. Remember that whole fiasco with the cast members in Orlando? Under the circumstances with COVID, I understand, but it just feels like, all right,
Here's the thing. Do you think this has anything to do with the amount of backlash that Charlotte got when she beat Rhea before? When she beat Rhea when she was still part of NXT. And everybody was like, Rhea should have won this. Rhea should have won this. And Charlotte is horrible. She's awful. There's no reason why she should have won this match. And now, looking at it now, it's like, where are all these people? Where are all these Rhea supporters? Where are they all? Where are all the people that are saying Rhea is the greatest thing on the planet? Because they're not around right now. None of them are around. And I understand that she is a bit different of a character from her time in NXT UK to NXT to WWE main roster. But where are all these supporters? They've all disappeared or jumped ship. She doesn't look good. This feud has to be on its last legs. I don't see it going any further than Money in the Bank. I just don't.
I know WWE absolutely loves everything about Charlotte. Promos, ability, attitude, size. I don't think trying to build a clone is the right way to go, because they're trying to play off like what the storyline is supposed to be is that Rhea Ripley is one-upping Charlotte. Like, she could see right through Charlotte. When Charlotte is on the crutch, Rhea comes out with the crutch. Rhea knows she's full of shit. And again, next thing we know, like, they have music. What is it? Synchronized swimming in the Olympics? This is synchronized crutches. And it was so awful. It was like a horrible, like, kung fu 70s movie where like they turn around and like this one misses. It looked like horrible choreographed dance music, just holding a crutch with it.
As somebody in our Discord said, they were handicapped Jedis.
Oh my God. And then, let me pick up the crutch and let's have that one moment where we actually hit each other with the crutch.
Right.
Like, you're supposed to expect like a bolt of lightning, like that explosion. That was just, there was nothing about that segment that I liked. I thought the whole segment was stupid because immediately neither one of them were injured and they're just like moving around like nothing.
Right.
And they're taking their shoes off. And I'm like, I like Charlotte. Charlotte is one of my favorites, and I'm one of the few that, enjoys her work. But, WWE and Charlotte know and acknowledge the fact that there's a huge part of the WWE universe that does not like Charlotte, and creating another Charlotte or a version thereof is not going to help Rhea Ripley. And doing this storyline that Rhea Ripley is not trying to be Charlotte, but she's smart so she could see one step ahead of Charlotte, that's not helping her either, because she's too similar to Charlotte now. It's like, okay, if someone out there is an asshole and they think that they're smart, I'll outsmart them in the end. But if I act like the asshole also, even if I do outsmart them, what do you end up with? Two assholes. You know what I mean? And Rhea Ripley will end up on top. She will end up beating Charlotte. She is one step ahead of Charlotte right now. But in the end, it's like, I don't like Rhea Ripley right now either. So that, to me, they're not doing any favors for Rhea Ripley right now. She could tag up with any baby face they want every week. I don't think it's helping her right now. I don't like it. So the only match that we haven't talked about yet that I did like was the Hurt Business, because Bobby Lashley reminded us tonight that they are the Hurt Business. MVP and Bobby Lashley took on the New Day, Kofi and Xavier. Kofi, once again, killing it with a promo. I mean, killed it.
Really? I don't know. No, I didn't like it. His promo tonight was awful. He's back to his cartoony bullshit. Kofi's serious promo with MVP last week was amazing. It was fucking amazing, because Kofi usually he's usually wacky and zany and goofy and, hold on a minute. There's more. It's like, all right, I got it. You're funny. Whatever. You know what I mean? I preferred when he was looking MVP in the eye and telling him he respects him, but you know what I mean? It meant more, because it was like, okay, here's Kofi stepping out of the goofy gimmick for half a second and addressing MVP as a man and not as a cornball. And this week he went back to being a cornball with Xavier. Oh, you tell him, Kofi. It's like,
but that's what they are. Pancakes.
I know,
Rubios.
but grow up. Kofi last week proved that he could grow up and cut a promo like a man and look a man dead eye to eye and tell him what he thinks. It was deep, dude. It was great. This week was back to the Gaga.
It's got to be a mixture of both. Gaga is what got them to the table. Gaga that's why Xavier still does the trombone. I mean, when you go back to fans, you swerving the hips and everything, all of that is the power of positivity. Last week was the power of intensity. And it was awesome.
How do you go from having an intense promo against somebody that you respect and hate at the same time and then go back to Gaga? No, it doesn't make sense. You don't get happy the next week. That's not how that works. If you're that pissed off at somebody that you're squaring up against them and you're telling them how you feel about them, you don't immediately go to your next promo and go, let's say something zany. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's not believable. It's the exact opposite of what they should have done. Kofi should have had a very somber promo tonight, would have went out there and said, I'm going to show you up. I'm going to beat your ass. That's what it should have been. And then when they're done with this feud, then you go back to wacky zany. Then you go back to another tag team match with AJ and Omos and cut zany promos, because they don't have the heat that MVP and Kofi do. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I understand what you're saying. You're not going to change the core of what the New Day is about, and especially with live fans coming back in 2 weeks for Raw. Kofi has got to be the Kofi that is serious at times, but also needs to
Kofi
be.
Doesn't deserve to win.
Oh no, he's not going to win though. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
He's not going to. Oh, I cut myself shaving yesterday. Charlie's asking. I cut myself shaving yesterday. Yeah, cut it. By the way, shout out to Noob Noob is always supporting me on social media, and I know he's hanging out tonight. Shout out to everybody, by the way, and shout out to all the new viewers out there. Much love as always.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Xavier really didn't cut a promo. He just watched and had fun. But the match was pretty good.
Well, talk
MVP,
about the Hurt Business promo too, though. Bobby Lashley not forgetting that he's a savage. Fuck,
oh my God, him working out like that. I'm like,
that was
he's
great.
jacked.
And him just, right in the fucking camera. I didn't forget who I am. I'm like, fuck yeah, you didn't.
Well, that's why I thought Kofi needed to be kind of lighthearted today, because it was kind of the reverse. Because last week, MVP is hanging out with women, partying, not taking it seriously, and Kofi took it mad serious. This week, Kofi being a little bit lighthearted, having fun, and Bobby Lashley looking right in the camera with super intensity, and he's like, I didn't forget who I am or anything like that. Like it felt like kind of the opposite this week. Okay, now we do a little role reversal. MVP taking it very seriously too. MVP got laid out last week. So that's why I feel like you don't want to have both being super intense. But I thought the match was really good. MVP, it felt like it was a little off. There was a couple of times that it felt a little off. Like they brought MVP in the corner of the New Day. Right. And I think like Kofi looked around like, all right, what are we supposed to do next? Like if you go back and you watch the match, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think it's a big deal because MVP hasn't had many matches recently, if any, but it did feel like it was off a little bit. It picked up later on in the match, but in the end, the New Day come out on top. And, this is supposed to make it feel like Kofi is a viable threat for Bobby Lashley. And I don't doubt that the match is going to be excellent at Money in the Bank. I just feel that there's no way that Lashley's losing that title back to Kofi.
No, well, it's definitely not when he's cutting zany promos. I'm sorry. It would have been a lot more believable to me. And I guess I just speak for myself on this. But I figure that if somebody pisses you off to the point that you break character, you don't immediately go back into character with your next promo. You feed off of that. There was a lot of positive feedback about his promo last week with MVP. Why would you go backwards? So short-sighted. If you want people to eat up this feud and believe this feud, you keep the feud believable. You keep the promos believable. Look, I understand. Most of us believe that Bobby Lashley is going to win, and that's fine. But isn't it more fun when you don't fucking know? Isn't it more fun when you believe that Kofi might hate or try to beat Bobby Lashley on that level? I'm just saying, I think that that's what wrestling in itself is missing. And turning Kofi back into a cereal box, whatever. I'm done with that Kofi. Look, I understand that Kofi, that's the Kofi that makes money.
He ain't going anywhere.
Kofi, I know. And the crowds are coming back, so you got to have Kofi doing the shuck and the jive. I get it. It makes them money. It makes them merchandise. It's what they're good at. But I'm just saying that Kofi on the level of being serious works. It fucking works. So there's got to be some kind of turning point for that guy. I'm just saying.
Just a thought. I don't see this happening, but it's a thought that would be a very interesting storyline if they went this route, although I don't think there's any chance in hell. Imagine if Kofi beat Lashley for the championship.
Shit.
And Big E cashed in won the briefcase. You think they would ever do Big E versus Kofi for the championship?
That would be insane. That is actually a really good storyline because it would be interesting because you would have a reluctant challenger and a reluctant champion. And I don't know if that would really, really work or if it would just completely fall flat. Like, it is such a gamble with an idea like that of putting Kofi versus Big E for the championship. Like, people might just poo-poo all over that, DT. Like, they might just shit all over it.
Imagine if MVP tried to convert Big E for the Hurt Business and tried to convince him to go after Kofi for the championship.
Turn him into a traitor against his brothers. Oh, that's some cold shit.
Look, that's why we do these shows, just to try to brainstorm some ideas. I think that would be a phenomenal idea. I don't think they would ever do it.
But they won't because the merchandise is nice. So
yeah, Kofi
versus
Mike's Lashley with Xavier caught in the middle.
Yeah, Mike's right. Yeah, Xavier caught in the middle. Oh, that would be very interesting. It'd be a mess. It'd be a hot mess.
It would be like the Mega Powers. Elizabeth was caught in the middle of the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. Xavier would be caught in the middle. I'm telling you, it's the Mega Powers all over again.
Better legs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Courtney, have a great night. Just figured I'd throw that out there. Let me know what you think. Post your comments in the comment section after we're done with the show. You can't do comments in the comment section while we're live. I didn't know that. That was actually a change on YouTube recently. But, like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not saying they're on the level of the Mega Powers. I'm just saying, like, you got Xavier in the middle, doesn't know which side to take. It's not a bad idea. I just don't think WWE would go that route. But it would be very, very interesting to see Big E win the briefcase and just jokingly say to Kofi, I could catch it in against you. Nah. And then, Kofi kind of like acts like, well, you catch it in, I'll beat you. And then it's
a fun fantasy booking because you know why, DT? Nobody sees it coming. Nobody sees that.
Ronnie, I'm not saying Big E's going to win Money in the Bank. Right now, that's my pick. I'm going to stick with it. Maybe I change my mind by next week. But right now, I'm sticking with it. So,
yeah.
Anyway, before we get out of here tomorrow, Great American Bash, we got 4 matches. Personally, I think the women's tag team championships are not changing hands. I don't think there's any chance Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are winning the belts. Gargano and Cross are just supposed to be a face-to-face tomorrow. There's no match. I don't know why people think, there's going to be a title change. I don't know why people are thinking that. Could end up being a match. We got Cole versus O'Reilly, which they're going to tear the house down. I personally think that feud should have ended with them going to the hospital that time. But obviously, they still need to continue that feud a little bit.
Yes.
We got Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. What other match we got tomorrow? Oh, MSK versus Ciampa and Thatcher.
Oh, yeah, Ciampa and Thatcher.
I would love to see Ciampa and Thatcher win those belts, man. Seriously. Would you have any problem with MSK going to the main roster? I almost feel like MSK might be better off in the main roster.
No, they're so young. They need time, dude. I don't even feel that they're hashed out enough down in NXT. I think that they've got a good premise. I know a lot of people that don't like them, but no, main roster bound already? They're going to end up on the Creative Has Nothing For You list in a month.
I just think MSK might be better suited for the WWE Universe, not the fans in the Capitol Wrestling Center. I don't know. Just feels like MSK might be better designed to be sports entertainers, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Just thinking outside the box again.
Sure.
Now, again, everyone, like I said, I'll be going on vacation Thursday early. So Wednesday, my show will be at 8 p.m., not 10:05. I will be doing an AEW watch-along. This will be few and far between, these watch-alongs. It's not going to be a regular thing. Obviously, if we have a special Saturday show, which someone gave me that great idea, or if there's a reason that I can't do a show late, we'll do the occasional watch-along like once every couple of months. But I'm doing a watch along Wednesday so I could finish the show by 10:30 or 11 instead of 1 a.m. Those 2 hours will make a big difference when I got to get up super early Thursday morning to go on vacation. So, but any final thoughts about what we talked about tonight before we call it?
No. Good show. Looking forward to watching, the NXT Great American Bash tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. I know me and Joe are going to have a little pre-show before that. We're going to do a little Frank and Gus together and a rundown of the matches.
Cool.
Yeah, but other than that, I hope everybody had a real good 4th of July. Hope you guys are all still chowing down on the leftovers and stuff like that, and hope nobody got fucking hurt. Jesus, there were so many fireworks going off in Chicago, I swear to God. Half of them, But much love to everyone. Thank you very much for subscribing and supporting the show. Appreciate you guys very much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Breakfast Soup.
Take care, Mish. Have a great night.
All right. Peace.
Take care. Everyone, just a reminder, we set up a Discord for just our YouTube family, and I posted a link, and we're doing subscriptions like 10 at a time. We don't want to flood. We're starting it out slowly. And, in about a week, I think the channel will be exactly where it needs to be, where we could officially launch it big. I always get freaked out when Mish freeze frames when he goes. So I don't know. But I want to thank Mish again for coming on tonight. But if you want to join the Discord and you want a personal invite from me, email me, dontony@dontony.com. I know tomorrow in the community section here on YouTube, I will put another invite up that'll be good for about 10 signups. First come, first serve. And, like I said, the page, it already launched, but we're still adding and tweaking and changing little things here and there. So, we should have it finished by early next week. But if you want to sign up now and chat with others, because I know a lot of you out there wanted a place where you can all hang out and chat when we're not doing shows, so the Discord is that place. And again, the vibe on Discord is the same vibe as here. You don't have to worry about expressing a view on something and getting ripped apart about it. It's a great vibe. I absolutely love the fact that all of you are with us here. And like I said at the beginning of the show, it's only one thing, and it's about having fun. I have a different style than Mish, as Joey Numbers and others, but at the end of the day, we're here to just have fun. And, like I said, with the Thunderdome, I'm going to miss it. No doubt I'm going to miss it. But nothing compares to live fans. So it was fun. If you didn't see Raw tonight, just check out. I know this is Joe Punches' a screenshot. I will have a much better one. Might even become the thumbnail for tonight's show. But just look above Corey Graves' head in the announcer section throughout the night. You will see some goofy guy with a hat that kind of looks like this, with a shirt that kind of looks like this, with a mask that kind of looks like this. And now I'm blind as a bat. I'm blind as a fucking bat. You know what's funny? No joke. When I was reading your responses tonight on social, I got to take this off. It smells. I got to put it in the washing machine tomorrow. You know what's funny? While I'm wearing that, I can't see nothing. So during the commercial breaks, because that has no ears. So I put the glasses on and it would fall right off. So I literally would have to be like this, holding it against my eyes, just so I can kind of sort of see like what was going on. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. I had a great time tonight. And I've been sitting in this chair now for 6 straight hours. So I am going to jet out of here. And one last time, if you don't mind, where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Smash that like button. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, and subscribe especially because now I'm going to start uploading clips, and I'm going to start doing clips. I'm not going to just take pieces from the shows that are already done. I will, starting next week, a couple of times during the week, I'm going to sit down here, turn everything on, talk for 5-10 minutes about a particular topic, and put it online. And that probably will cut down on the lengths of the shows a little bit too. But I like doing a lot of these topics live because then we get to chat with each other and interact. And a lot of you like to chat with each other about what we're talking about. So that's the only reason why I haven't done recorded clips sooner. But it's obviously something that a lot of you have been asking for. And I know sometimes some of the things that we talk about get buried in the show, unless we put up a synopsis. But start looking out for that next week. So everyone, thank you again for the support. Much love. And if you're part of our Patreon, join us tomorrow night. Either tomorrow or the next Off the Cuff is when we're going to do that tournament. So I got to see how the day goes tomorrow. If I get like an hour or two that I can actually put this together, I will. We'll see. But I have a feeling it's going to be the next Off the Cuff, which would be the 20th of July. That's probably the day that we do it. But so I'll see you all tomorrow, or I'll see you Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So take care, everyone. Be well. Much love. And I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.